One of the first programs for the Mac that we're going to look at is Reunion, and we're looking at Reunion version 12. Reunion's been around for quite a long time. For the longest time it was the only Mac tool that I'd heard of for genealogists. That's certainly not true now. We are looking at a native running genealogy program, so there's no emulator working in the background. This is just exactly how you would see it. So this screen looks like it wants me to sign up, but I just want to do demo mode, so I'm going to continue in demo mode. And it's asking me about a word processor and my preferred web browser. Interesting. I'll just leave it at defaults. And now it wants me to choose a file, and since we haven't done this before, we'll create a new file. So interesting, family file 12. Interesting suffix there. I'm going to put in Thompson Reunion 12 test. Create the file. Okay, and this is the screen that it's showing. Let me enlarge it if it'll let me. It won't let me yet. I have to take care of this pop-up. So I'm going to add, I assume, the first person before it'll let me go any further. And we will add Frank Verling Thompson. Frank was my great-grandfather, who I did get to meet at some point, although I was very young. Let's see, user ID we don't care about, prefix title don't care about, last name in uppercase, no, not particularly. And let's see, not adding any sources for the name, so let me just say done and see. Well, no, here, let's click on events. Actually, no, let's click on done and see if I can enlarge the program first to give you a good view of the screen. All right, so this looks like a typical family sheet with a people list on the right-hand side and a menu on the left-hand side. Let me see if I can find a lineage chart, because that works best for me when I'm entering it in. All right, so I played around a little bit with the configuration. I could not find a way to use a lineage chart as a editing screen, so we'll stick with the family view, which is the default editing screen on Reunion. I also found I was able to configure the dates the way I like them, and you have the choice of configuring the surname in all uppercase like many of the programs do offer. I'm back on the family view, and now I'm going to start entering some facts for Frank. So he was born on the 14th of June 1891, and it left it, oh, it did capitalize the month. Excellent. I'm going to try entering the death date differently as 9/10/1967. I was 7 years old when he passed away. And yes, it reformatted the date the way that I like it. So next we are going to add his father. And his father was Charles H. Thompson, male of course. And interesting that it has source citations for the name right up front there. Now we're not going to talk about citations during the basic tasks exercise, but we will come back to this later and when we review all of the top programs and how they handle source citations. So I am going to move to their events screen, and Charles was born in 1851 and he died on the 10th of April 1898. All right, so now we have Charles. The next thing I'm going to do, I want to go back to Frank and enter Frank's mother. Frank's mother was Sarah Jane Raymond. And actually I don't want to enter the surname on the same line as the rest of the name. Did I get it right? I'm still typing it wrong. Okay, got it now. And Sarah was born in January of 1850. And she died in December of 1912. So she outlived her husband by about 14 years. Now, so I've got Charles H. and I've got Sarah Jane Raymond. What I don't have is a linkage to them. They are obviously the parents of Frank Verling, but I do want to add a marriage event to one or the other and make sure that it propagates over to the other one. So I'm going to go back over to the events. I'm going to add an event. I'm going to choose marriage, which is not on this, but I'm not surprised by that because many programs consider marriage, the marriage event, a little bit differently than other events. So let me check under facts, and I want to add a fact. Married name, no, that's not where it is. Still not seeing how to add the marriage event, a marriage date. Okay, I think I found it. There's a white box above the two spouses, and if I click on that white box, this is where it allows me to do a marriage event. So the date of their marriage was 18th of September 1889. Now we have the first couple and married. So next I want to add a father for Charles. And his father was Daniel Hart Thompson. And if I add a birth event for him, he was born 1st of June 1829. And he died. I'm going to try a different date format and see if it converts at 1893. Okay, so here you see that it couldn't understand the date the way I did it. I did it backwards from a, I should have done typical month first, then day. Okay, so now I've got the birth and death for Daniel Hart Thompson. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to add another person, and it's a spouse of Daniel Hart Thompson, and her name was Abigail B. Coates. And there's a lot of spelling I've seen: Coates, Cots, Choates. Not quite sure what the real name is, still doing some research on that, but this is the one I found more often for this particular generation. Alright, and we're going to add events for her. So she was born 1829, and she died 11/9/1856. So she died when Charles was only 4 years old? 5 years old? Yeah. Wonder what impact that had on Charles. And we're going to add a marriage event for them. And they were married on 10/10/1846. Okay. Let me go back down now to the root person. Alright, so here at the bottom, how's it? Okay. So it looks like it's only displaying 2 generations, or actually 1 generation, 2 generations at a time. If I go down and reveal Charles H. Thompson and Sarah Jane Raymond as the people of interest, you'll see they had the one child, Frank Verling. They had, and then his father was Daniel Hart Thompson, and Abigail Coates was his mother. So there you have it. There's the basic tasks in Reunion 12 for the Mac.